Welcome back to Grandpa's Time. Hey, grandkids. Just fooling around in the woods a little bit today, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about wind. But one thing you cannot beat is the wind. If you were trying to get into an area and the wind is at your back, you're going to blow anything out of there that's in there. I actually saw it happen to me one time. I was on top of this rise and I came up over the top of this hill, and there was some elk down below. I had to have been 3/4 of a mile, at least a half a mile, but probably it looked further than that. I didn't range it. And the wind was still blowing down the hill. When the sun's down, or before the sun hits a spot on mountains or hills, a lot of times you'll get these things called thermals, and the wind will be going downhill in the morning, and when the sun hits it, the wind will switch and go uphill. And that's a really rough way of talking about thermals, but just think about it in terms of the sun not on it, the wind is going downhill. If the sun's on it, the wind's going uphill. That's why during the day you'll see deer perched up on the top of a hill or a mountain, because they can smell and see everything that's coming up. Anyway, it was early morning, and I came up over this hill, and those elk turned and looked at me, or they looked in my direction anyway. I don't think they saw me. They turned and looked in my direction, and they just ran off. And there's no way they heard me. There's just no way in the world they heard me. They smelled me. And bear have even more sensitive noses than that. I've seen bears, you get a wind with a little bit of swirling around, and man, the bears they'll just leave. I'll show you this picture here. It's the wind stuff you can use. A lot of bow hunters use it, but it's good for anyone. And I'll just show you how to use it right here. So there's all kinds of products on the market for scent kill, and there's sprays and there's soap, and you can wash your clothes in certain detergents, and they got all this stuff that's supposed to help. And some guys swear by it, and some guys say it's a bunch of baloney. No, I don't know. I think they might do some good for some things. I know a couple years I bow hunted, I put my clothes in a bag with the vegetation from that area in the bag, and I'd leave it out my garage for a few days before I hunted in those clothes. I don't know if it really helps or if it just helped me psychologically. But yeah, none of those things are going to be absolute, even if they work a little bit. They might help a little bit to confuse something for the extra 5 seconds you need to get a shot off, but they're not going to. If the wind's at your back and you're trying to go into an area, it's not going to fool anything. You're going to get busted, and you're not going to see anything. So if you're trying to get into an area and the wind's at your back, or the wind's swirling around real bad, try to enter it from a different direction. And that might mean you have to walk a few miles. But do you want to be successful, or do you want to just take a walk in the woods? So anyway, that's my opinion on wind and scent blockers and all that stuff. I try them if it makes you feel better. I'm not saying they don't work at all. I'm just saying they're not gonna absolutely work, and it's not as good as just playing the wind. In other words, if the wind's in your face and you're going into an area, you're gonna have a better chance than if the wind's at your back, or if the wind's at your side, or if it's swirling around. So pay attention to the wind, and you'll definitely see more critters. Thanks for watching.